Well, how about you? Good morning. We've been away for so long. It's like we're back. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, Dawn. Randy, the Missouri outlaw. Randy. Yeah. He always says hi. I always appreciate that.
Hey, if I'm Uncle Don, you must be Auntie Paulette.
Mm,
Good
when
morning,
I'm,
Joey. How's Scott doing today?
Hi, Joy.
Like always, the link's at top for anybody who wants to join us, and we're kind of boring. But it's great to be here. Sorry about the last couple of weeks, but I was a little bit under the weather.
He was under the weather, but we went out to the lake to be. As long as he was sick, he was in a pretty place to be, and we had a good time, as much as could be. Spent time with a sister and brother-in-law, and he took us out in his boat, so Don could just mostly ride along and not have to work so long, too hard. I caught a walleye.
Good morning, Johnny. Yeah, she catches the walleye. Well, plug your ears. I suck at it. Yeah.
It wasn't
I
a, it
what
wasn't the biggest walleye, but it was a nice size one.
Yeah. You need to move your camera over a little bit.
I know. I was trying to figure it out. Like,
Moving it the wrong way. That's the wrong way. There you go.
mm-hmm.
Hunky
I'm kind of
dory.
backwards this morning. Didn't
Oh,
sleep good. Did you sleep good? I didn't. But I didn't hear you move, so I must not have slept too bad.
I slept pretty. I don't know what's wrong with the dog today, but she just going nuts. She
But I
goes outside and she sticks her nose up in the air to the west and just goes nuts, almost howls. And so I wonder if there isn't a fire or something going on out there.
well, it's real hazy out, Don, but I haven't been out enough because I don't want to. I think I'm going to try her again. Put her out. You want to go back out?
We
Because
keep seeing, hearing sirens and stuff, but she, she can tune into things we can't.
I
But
know.
she's so pitiful.
I'm going to go again, Don.
Well, we got to pack up today and leave tomorrow for Mayo Clinic. I hope it's my last visit. And when we get back on Thursday, Paulette's got to have surgery on her arm. They found a spot and biopsied it, and it was cancerous, so they're going to cut it out, but they have to go deeper than just scraping it. So she's
Oh,
looking forward to that.
well, it's not bad. It's just a little bit. It's the good kind. If you have to have bad kind and good kind, it was the good one.
Not too bad.
No.
But so I missed a lot the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I tried. My eyes wouldn't even focus to read or go up and watch any videos or anything. Good morning, Lance. How'd you fare last night? Good morning, Kevin. Was watching you both last night. Is my camera blurred or is it just my eyes?
It's your eyes.
Oh, okay.
It's your head. I think
Good
so.
morning, Ashley. Boy, I'm surprised anybody.
Morning, Ashley. How are you?
It's so
Kevin
nice
and
to see
Lance.
my friends. Missed y'all.
Still out here. I'm glad, Lance. Oh, you're still out fishing?
Yeah, he fished all night long.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, he's a diehard. I respect him. I ain't got that I ain't got that in me anymore. I always plan to and don't make it. I was gonna make this program a guard dog program and go through the things I learned and everything, but with being sick, I just got way behind. And today we got a pack, and I gotta drive an hour north to go get my boat. I brought the trailer home, and by the time I got home, I just didn't have the oomph in me to drive back up there.
6 a.m. was the 12-hour mark. Gosh, 12 hours. I'm impressed. I don't do that. I get so tired too. But I don't get, my arms get tired. Getting too old, I guess.
At least in the evening, he gets a lot of interesting characters coming by and chatting with him.
I bet. I bet. Well, it keeps you going too, huh?
The newlyweds finally moved on. They were next to him doing a photo op.
Oh,
So that was kind of cute. I was expecting him to ask Lance to join in and get their picture taken with him. But today's a new day. I'm feeling good. Yesterday I had a pretty good.
coffee and nicotine.
So I'm hoping whatever it was is past, and that tomorrow I have a good day driving. I think it's 6 or 7 hours, isn't it, down there?
Yeah, about 6 hours if we when we drive straight through like we do.
Yeah, I got to make one stop, either going or coming back. A guy's got some wood for me to some black walnut. I think he said it was to turn. So I'm hoping as my health gets better, my life gets spinning again. But last night I was at the point where
The bride got pigeon poop on her.
did she really?
Yeah, but that makes midget. Those are memory moments. Remember when we were on our honeymoon and a pigeon pooped on you? I think that's.
I think Lance got some on his hat too. They were roosting above him
Oh, from what were you under a bridge or something? Overpass?
on like a walkway.
Uh, yeah, it was funny, Ashley.
Yeah, we had a great time. I got my new boat out, got the some of the bugs worked out of it, and I got to take it back to the shop. The first day I'm motoring down the lake coming in, it's getting cold because it was dropping down to the mid lower 50s at night. Damn big motor quit running, brand new motor. So I was pretty torqued. So luckily I had enough left in my electric motor to get me in, but got everything, huh, Lance? But I used the electric motor and got her going real good and aimed for the trailer and hit the up button on the electric motor at the same time, and it glided right up on the trailer, and I was able to hook it up by myself. And well, in that part, I don't miss my bigger pontoon, but when I was out in the water, we had about probably 2 foot swells, and I missed my pontoon then.
Yeah, but you know what? It didn't. It handled it fine. Except I think it was harder for you to handle. Maybe, huh?
Yeah, it's
Because we never got wet. Never ever got wet.
no, it's a pretty dry riding boat, so I'm happy, but I don't need to be out in worse weather than that anymore at my age. And
Didn't bother Patches at any of it. He loved it. She did. She
no, she was,
along the ledge. She was just. She was so
yeah,
busy watching our poles for us.
she paced a lot, and then she kept barking at me, and I knew what she wanted, but I kept telling her, "Oh, just wait till we get a little further down here, and I'll beach it, and let you run." And she kind of looked at me and said, "Nope, got to go now." So she did pee on the floor, which I just scooped up a bucket of water and washed it down the back of the boat. But other than that, she was great. She liked laying on a little space on the very back of the boat. Paulette was worried about her. I says, "Well, she's gonna fall in or jump in one of these days. It's just a matter of time, but then she'll decide whether she likes it or not." But at this time, she will go out, but as soon as her feet can't touch the ground, she swims and comes back in. She's not too sure about that, not having her feet on the ground. But she camping, I would walk her without a leash a lot of times, and I'd get up in the morning and walk her out to the point, and she'd go do her business, and then she'd run. And she'd run probably 50 yards from me, and then she'd turn around and come back just wide open. And then when she'd get to me, she'd veer around me so I couldn't catch her. And then she'd go about 50 yards back and forth, but she got a good workout while we're out there with space to run and but she's got one habit, and I'm not sure whether to call it a bad habit or not, but she loves laying on the console of the truck, which is about half her size. So she'll crawl up there and she'll have her feet on the floor and back and lay on the console. And then she likes putting her head on Paulette's arm and resting her head on Paulette's arm while we're driving. But she never tries to crawl in my lap. But as a young pup, I never encouraged it either. So she's really making me happy. Good thing for Paulette, I got somebody.
That's right.
But yeah, we had a good time. Paulette's sister and brother-in-law were out there for a few days, and when we do that, when we do that, I cook a meal one night, and then he cooks a meal next night, and the women just lounge around and complain about the food.
Yeah. And wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
But
have.
we never complain about the food. I have to object about that because y'all cook really good meals.
Yeah, we use
Unfortunately.
each other as guinea pigs.
Oh, yeah, we had some good food out there.
Hey, Simon, how are you doing?
Australia. Hi, Simon.
You getting ready to come in the summer,
Pops.
winter down there, or summer?
I met
We're,
her. Andy, funny.
yeah, I seen a news flash from local news that said something about hard freeze warnings, and when to expect it. And I didn't even read it. I don't even want to hear about it. I ain't got enough summer in yet. So, what part of Australia are you? East, west, north, south? Hey, John. Good morning. Welcome in. It's so good to see you all this morning. Oh, boy. Wears me out talking so much. I've been just moping around the house and being grumpy to Paulette and
He has been.
can't eat. Lost a bunch of weight again, and that's not good for me. They might not be happy with me Tuesday at my doctor's appointment, but
Did you go buy some new clothes and nothing? Came home and he looked so nothing fit. I said, you got baggy drawers, honey. We got to go buy some new clothes. He said he was okay because we went to Shields. So he went to Shields and I brought clothes for him.
I gained 10 more pounds at least, and instead I lost 10. So now I'm on 20 from where they want me to be. Still doing a lot better than last year at this time, that's for sure. Yeah, I wish I could take it from you, Randy.
Yeah. His wife gained it when we were out there. All that good food.
Yeah, when I was trucking that trucker food, you can pack on the pounds, but I can't eat it anymore. But I'm doing good. If I wasn't going to Mayo tomorrow, I would think about. Oh, good morning, Mr. Johnny. Not feeling blue today. Boy, I can't hear you. You're barely can hear you, or else you're muted. I can see your mouth moving, but
Hi, Johnny. That's fun to see somebody.
there. Now you look like Johnny. Oh, I see. I might have had him turned down.
Turn him up. Did you lose him?
Oh, he'll be back in.
Whoops, I'm here. Let me.
I got you now. I turned your volume up this end.
Okay.
It was Dawn's fault.
It's always Don's fault. It's either that or my fault.
Boy, we'd get in a lot of trouble together, couldn't we?
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Well, reservoir, so I decided to give you a call and not let you sit up there all. Don,
Yeah.
so tell me, what kind of a fishing trip did you have? You were sick, right? Were you ill?
Yeah, we went camping in the lake for 12 days and taking 6, and wind blew a couple, and the whole time I was sicker than a dog. I couldn't eat. Uh, and then I did get 2 days out where I was feeling all right, but I did get out in the lake, and the rocking of the boat seemed to help.
I'm trying to get the camera to turn around so I can show you this great view. And I can't do it. See, that house shows you I can't. So you were sick, and did you catch anything at all?
Oh, and everybody I talked to, nobody was catching anything. We were marking fish, but they were down 80, 100 feet, and I was driving everything I had past them, and just nothing. Nothing was even,
The matter.
bait. Even the bait stores weren't around.
Were there any fronts going through at the time?
Anyway.
Any storm fronts going through at the time?
Well, yeah, the first 6 days we had a bunch of thunderstorms and storms coming through, and it just seemed to scatter the fish all over the lake.
And just before that, they had such a bad storm that it wiped out some of the trailers, wiped out pontoons were flipped over. A lot of the trailers were just totaled. It was terrible. Crops were wiped out.
Yeah, that's a sad story. There was a guy bought a brand new, like 40-foot toy hauler trailer, everything on it, and the storm rolled it 2.5 times and up against another person's trailer who they were related to.
Right.
And old trailer he had out on the corner for sale. It rolled that one over. And of course, insurance company, they're going to bulk on it. So, and then there was a pontoon flipped upside down. And when we got there, a bunch of trailers with windows busted out. But we were up on a hill over the lake and had a beautiful view. So I'm glad we did get there. The corn, which was probably 5 foot tall, you couldn't tell
Right.
what it was. It was smashed down in the ground. The sunflowers were smashed down in the ground, and it just wiped out. I don't know how big an area, but that was a pretty nasty storm. But I think they said they had.
Mother.
Go ahead, Johnny.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
They said they had sustained 80-mile-an-hour winds, but a lot of people think there might have been some small tornadoes in there because
Sure.
they kind of picked and choose the trailers to upset.
Right.
Good morning,
Well, yeah.
Sampy.
Hey, Samps. The Mother Nature, there's nothing more incredible than go through. I want to tell you, when you see a 24-inch tree literally severed, it's amazing, right? Good morning. And when you see all the crops pushed down, that's amazing power. 80-mile-an-hour sustained winds. Oh my God! And then to lose your home. Oh my God! Remember Possum? Possum lost family and everything else. It was terrible. So it finished. The storm finished. And did you guys still have a decent time, able to relax a little bit?
Yeah, I was relaxing pretty much the whole time.
Okay.
We had a nice gentle breeze in the evening. It was pretty chilly, but it made it just perfect to sit by a campfire. So I sat by a campfire a lot at night. Just felt sorry for myself.
Don, we all do. The older you get, right? When things don't go our way because we just can't control certain things. And everyone knows this in chat too. When you're getting older, you notice you can't do the things you used to do. Then you realize you can't do the things you do, which holds you back from doing them because you're not infallible and or invincible and or can skirt death with a snap of your fingers. You're hurt if you do it. So it's part of the process, but it doesn't bother me so much. But with you, I look at 2023 as the year that Don lived, and his body's healing back to normal. It's going to take you a while. I mean, you were sick.
Yeah, I sat out in the boat them days. I just did a lot of soul searching, and it's all right that I can't do the stuff I used to do, but I'm not going to let it stop me from doing the things I can.
Can I show you something, Don?
Oh, yeah. Boy, that almost looked like the view we had. Isn't that pretty?
And that is the water intake valve for the reservoir, and the dam is coming right up. You'll see it right now. You see the dam?
Yeah.
So this has 85-pound catfish in it.
Really?
Yep. So guess who's going to go hunting them? Me. Anyway, yeah, it's not that bad of a realization, right? I mean, once you come to that, once you think it through. Good morning. Once you think it through, it's not all that bad. It's just it's another step toward wisdom, where you're not going to hurt yourself, where you realize that there's a limitation now. And how many things can you do now? Like you're online, right? You've met a ton of people online. They adore you, Don. That wasn't you 5 years ago.
No,
And so now you get to share your experience. I just think, Don is the guy that in another 2 years will be out fishing, will be out more active, right? Maybe not running a marathon backwards, but none of us are, right?
it's like John says that I'm just not stable, so it's all right that I have to crawl on my hands and knees to get up in the front of the boat rather than stand up and walk there.
Well,
Yeah. But
it,
what you told him, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, because that's sometimes what Don forgets is just to enjoy where he's at, compare to where he was.
Paul,
I don't think the weight's as important as being able to walk and get the mail.
could I throw something at you, Paulette?
So
We
please.
all miss the point every single day. Every single day we miss the point because we're living to fantasy. We're not living to reality. We are alive.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm telling you, how many great people, both of you guys, dead today, passed on. Wonderful people should never happen. And they can't have a problem. They can't crawl on their knees to the front of the boat. You know what? If I'm in a boat and I know I can't stand up without falling over and I can't get back in the boat, I'm crawling. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's self-awareness. Anyway, I just had to say that because we all focus on what other people can do and measure ourselves on that. It has nothing to do with that at our age. And Paulette, you're so awesome. Did you have a good time at the lake?
Oh yeah, I did. I really did. Yeah. We did some walking and it was it's so green here. The storms were terrible, and yet the aftermath, God just really created a beautiful, the grass, it's crazy, but like the wheat fields and everything, it looks like somebody, had already, I thought they had already been harvested when we first got there. And but all the green grass is coming up underneath that. So actually they're just fields of green, you know, new growth. It'll be next year. It'll be back. They'll
Do
be
you know
back.
one of the things that I miss more than anything in the world? I miss green. I
Yeah.
miss green. I live in the desert, so I'm going to show you what green looks like to me right here. This is the side of the dam. Okay, so that's going downhill. That's green. It's not. It's desert. See how dead it looks?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
But it's pretty.
I, oh, I want to tell you something. You're green. I I want to roll around in the grass. I want to go under a tree, a big canopy tree. We don't have them here. We got palm trees. What are you supposed to do? Hang out with the rats?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, we really have. This is not the time of the year we should be brown. We don't normally have rain at this time of the year. We should, but yeah, it is. And the wildflowers are just amazing.
Paulette, turn your camera again.
I know. I keep moving around doing things. I can't sit still very long.
we need someone to operate a camera right because they can't even see me 9/10 of the time.
Well, I keep changing my chair. That's why I do. I can't get it done. It's okay. Everybody, you can hear my voice. You don't need to see me.
It's becoming much more in vogue not to have an image up there, not showing your face,
Mm,
just a voice. Look at Don. He's hiding behind his icon. Darn it.
I know. Yeah, Don, as a matter of fact, I can't see you either. I don't even know if your camera's straight.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
I can see
Okay.
you fine.
Hey, Don, don't worry about us. We're just up here showing our faces as gorgeous as they can be, and you're hiding behind your icon. Don't worry about it. So Don, what is your favorite fish to catch? Catfish, bass, walleye, crappie?
I like catching anything. I
So
probably,
fishing.
yeah, I probably do best with catfish. Walleye, for some reason, I can go with people and everybody around me catches walleye and I never catch a thing. So when I was younger, I used to always be the one that catches something. And as I gotten older, I think it's because I'm kind of lazier. I don't work at it as hard, but I haven't been able to catch anything. But when it comes to catfish, I do. I hold my own.
Paulette, what do you fish for?
I still like walleye. I
I'll
like
tell you.
I like to catch northern, and I want to catch a no, I can't even say it. Um,
Muskie.
yeah, yeah.
So
Zebra
where are you located? Where are you
musskie.
guys located?
Right in the center of North Dakota.
Okay, so you can catch muskie up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
See, I've been up to Canada tons of times. Well, tons, 10 times as a kid. And we never, I think I saw a muskie, maybe, but all we could land was northern. It was like a 1 in 10,000 fish.
Yeah. We have a lake up here that they stocked a tiger muskie because
Nice.
shad got so big the walleyes wouldn't eat them.
Huh.
And last year at the hatchery, a lot of people were saying they were catching 40-inch muskie. And that was
That's a
only
big fish.
4 years. But
That'll break your tackle.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the
I
tiger
guess that's what
muskie are sterile. So when they decide the shad population is back under control, if they leave them go between 5 7 years, they'll all disappear because they'll
Ah,
be through their life cycle.
oh, gotcha.
Good morning, Monty.
Hi, Monty.
Hey, Monty. He's the guy that owns the setups you guys are doing, right?
Yep, he's the inventor of the guard dog.
Yeah, I saw him the other day. I'm really impressed that he could pull that off. You know, to bring something to market is it's a nice discussion, but it kicks your butt.
Yeah,
And it's not easy. I don't know how many prototypes he must have had, but you know, to make it work right and to make it fiddle proof and human proof, that's a job and a half.
yeah, he's constantly looking at what everybody reports and doing fixes and very meticulous.
Remember, Monty, some of the ideas are just plain stupid. And um, I used to tell all the people that I worked with, I used to stand up in front of a room full of people, and I said, for some of you guys, your ideas are brilliant. The other part of you, your ideas are horrible. But thanks for bringing them to me because we need all the ideas to kind of pick through. And I've had plenty of horrible ideas too, and that's where good ideas start from. Uh, Paulette,
Yes.
what would you use to fish for a muskie?
I'm not even really certain. I don't know. I really don't. But I'd probably use my same tackle that I use for my um.
Northern, right?
Yeah.
So what are you using for northern?
Geez, Don, put me on the spot.
Crankbaits.
Oh, okay. That's all I use.
Oh no, we use a little of everything. Right now for our walleye, I always call them butterflies. Is what we're using for our walleye.
Morning.
Um,
Smiley faces and butterflies.
Well, whatever works, right? I mean, we used to use Johnson spoons, Doc, um, Doc spoons, Mepps minnows, crippled minnows. We'd use some exotic lures that we'd buy. We used the floaters. I still have my grandpa's lures that he had and his great grandfather had. And
oh,
it's what they use to catch muskie I remember my dad telling me the story. I don't know if it's what you've heard anything similar. He said they go out at 3 a.m, not 4, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So get out in the boat. They take a boat oar and smash the water as hard as they could for 10 minutes. And then they'd start fishing.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah, they're
Well,
pretty much a predator.
John.
well,
We
I don't know why
just-
they did it, but it must be because of the predator, right? They want to see a fish in stress or something.
Yep, that's why your whopper poppers and walk the dog in the real shallow water, but normally less than 10 feet is where you'll catch your northerns and walleyes or
Right.
northern and muskie. So they're fast and furious type fishing, and then you get your walleye, which is real slow and easy fishing. And then you get your catfish, you just throw something in the water and sit and wait. And that's what I like.
Do you lure fish for walleye? We used worms and minnows, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
We use minnows more in the winter because they can't keep them alive in the summer, but
Gotcha.
it was night crawlers
Morning.
Stop.
and what they call wacky hooks.
When I hit trees.
And then we use leeches a lot too.
Donald.
Oh, that's right. Leeches. That's right.
But
Did you see John? John says his boy is going to be hunting down by New Salem. We're
yeah,
really close. How far is not a half hour from New Salem on the freeway?
yeah, we go to New Salem all the time and then turn
Right.
north, go up the lake. So
Right.
yeah, John, if he wants to go out in the river or something someday, feel free. I think my information's on my page. You can pass it off to him.
Yeah, we wouldn't have no problem with it. We don't have a problem with dogs either.
I got my boat broke in on the lakes, and now I'm ready to venture out in the river.
Rivers are a scary beast. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
That make sure you got your. The only thing I can tell you is make sure you have a phone or one of those SOS things in your pocket. You can buy them for $150. And there will send emergency crew. If you fall over, Don,
yep,
there's nothing stopping you in a river. You know that.
yep.
Okay, so they have these satellite things where if you fall over, or even in the woods where there's no cell service, you hit a button and they send SOS,
Yep.
and they will come literally and so, I'm getting one next year because I plan on when I retire, Don, I'm going to do hiking in the back mountains. I'm going to go up to Canada and hike and camp and do all that. And especially if I was going to be in a boat at my age, I'm you'll find just it's nice to have a bit of protection jet can find you.
Hey, that's really cool, John. It'd be fun to hook up with you someday.
Do you still have relatives living in New Salem?
Monty, I was fishing for walleye, so I was going only about 0.8 miles an hour, and I was fishing everywhere from 15 feet to 100 and some feet. And so that's why I had the weights on to help me get down deep, and it didn't matter whether I was shallow or deep. But the dogs did catch a couple bait stealers that I looked away for a second and the dog went off and reeled it in, and there was one of those little bait stealers that get down and nip that worm right off. And
Yep.
those are the ones that I like the most about the dog catching, because if you don't catch them, they just steal your bait and you're dragging around no bait for half hour or so.
Nobody was catching that. I mean, Don felt so bad he wasn't catching any when he went out. But we talked to people that were coming in and down at the bait shop and stuff like that. Nobody was catching. I think that storm, it was just changed everything.
Yeah,
I'm
the fish were in hiding. Yep.
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear from my. We're not going to be going out because of not being home, but I know my brother-in-law and his wife. They're going back out this weekend too. They're going down to the Little Missouri, so I'm curious to see how the fish are biting down now. You want to go back outside? Come on.
Hey, John, that's pretty cool because my son lives across the sound in Kitsap County. So I try to make a trip out to Seattle twice a year, but it's been well over a year since I've been out to see my grandsons. So I'm looking forward to it. I scheduled it for this weekend, and then Mayo called and said, "Okay, here's your appointment." This, but I'm catching up. I was having 4 or 5 appointments a week, and now I'm down to one, maybe every.
Oh, that's so good to hear, Don.
So
Are you feeling better overall?
overall, I'm feeling 100% better. I'm getting out, getting things done. I took a little setback, but yesterday I got up and walked out and looked at my little tiny garden, and we and then when we got back, we picked all our squash, and so Paulette wanted them sliced up and shredded and this and that for the freezer. But I took the whole tip of my finger off on that slicer.
Woo! Ouch!
I ran it down and I said, "Well, there's a bunch of squash that I'm not going to eat." So I took the slice, washed it up and stuff, and found the whole tip of my finger. But that was probably the worst I've ever did.
That's fun.
It's the little things she appreciates when I cut my finger off for her. But
I mean,
yeah,
that's true.
we got a lot in the freezer. I picked a bunch of my peppers, and my Fresnos are doing great. The rest of them,
Awesome.
it's just too short a year here, but they're
Have you
coming.
had one yet?
A Fresno?
Have you eaten one yet? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like the Fresnos.
How-
I got Paulette
How
on.
hot are they?
Oh, they're mild, no hot. They're
Oh,
like a sweet bell pepper, but Paulette tasted them finally, and I think she kind of likes them even a little bit better than a bell pepper. They're more taste to them. And then I
gotcha.
had,
Is it a good cooking pepper, maybe?
pardon?
Is it a good cooking pepper?
Yeah, it's real good when you're just seasoning with peppers and making like stir fry and stuff like that you don't want when you're cooking for old people sometimes.
Right.
Real mild, spicy.
Yeah, because a lot of peppers are either hot or good tasting.
Yeah, I got one and she says it's a bell pepper, but it looks like a little pumpkin.
I'll be darned.
And I tasted it. I think it is a bell pepper, but I mixed all my peppers up. I had them in these little pods in a tray this spring. And the dog tripped me and they went flying everywhere. So I have to guess at which one's which. And I cut tips off them and try them. And I got one. It's got a pretty good bite to it, but nothing exotic.
The secret with peppers is you keep on picking the flowers off until they're about 3 or 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Pick them all off, and they'll give you more.
That's cool, John.
I haven't grown a pepper in 2 years.
Yeah, I put everything in the garden late. I got things mixed up. I lost most of the seeds I started, which so when I planted them in my little garden that I made, I got my zucchini and tomatoes mixed in with the scallions and everything, and the tomatoes and zucchini pretty much did a number on most of the peppers, but there's some of them coming up. My zucchini's about, or my squash is about done, so I'm gonna. You take care, John. So I'm gonna go cut it out and give some breathing room to the peppers yet.
Yep. Good for you.
I just take them and put them on a tray in the freezer, and then I take them out and bag them up and for this winter. And they seem to have a little better taste than ones out of the store, but maybe it's because I grew it. I partial.
They probably do taste a little better. It's just like all fresh fruit, you know, and they probably do. Whether it's you're at the exact moment they should be instead of picking or whatever.
Yeah, next spring I'll take and put about another 6 inches or so of dirt in my little garden, and I made two of them. They're just a little 4x4 that I can reach in. I don't have,
Sure.
and they're off the ground. And so next year I'll plant my peppers and stuff a little bit further apart from tomatoes and zucchini, and hopefully get a squash this year or next
I like
year.
the idea that you have raised so you don't have to bend over and do all that crazy stuff. Those are so neat to have them elevated.
Yeah, I got the raised garden beds for my herbs, and I got chives and basil and rosemary
Oh, nice.
and parsley and all of them in one, right
Do you,
outside the door.
do you get a chance to use those, Don?
Oh yeah, I've
Good.
been using them for a while already. I just outside the door, so when I get ready to cook, I go out and cut what I need, and I've been getting a little extra, so I've been freezing them, and so I'll have fresh ones. I took ice cube container and I put I think a tablespoon of like chives in each one, and then
Oh,
put water on it. So all I have to do is take a ice cube out, and I know I got a tablespoon of chives.
that's awesome.
I want to try some with oil. They say that's pretty good too.
What is it?
With oil,
Oh, what kind of oil would you use with it? Avocado or?
I'd probably use olive oil. That's normally
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
either that or sesame oil. I like this smell of the sesame oil and stuff when I'm cooking. But
It certainly has a good taste to it too.
yeah,
Peanut, you use peanut oil?
I use peanut oil a lot if I'm doing like a deep frying or frying, but olive
Right.
oil when I'm seasoning garlic and onion and stuff like that to cook with. But
Don, what's your favorite bait? Your
my
favorite bait for each fish? Let's say like catfish, bass, and a northern.
it'd probably be suckers, but we're not allowed to use them here, so I have to use frozen ones. But I like a live bait, about 4 to 6 inches. Now the northern we use smelt, and I used
Oh,
a big 8-10 inch smelt, and they'll hit them pretty hard. But
didn't even think of that.
I'll just throw a big smelt. Hard to keep on the hook, but I'll throw a big smelt under a bobber about 4 feet deep, and it's funny. The northern will come out, and you'll see that bobber go, and then it stops. And if you pull it in that time, you'll miss them every time. And then if you wait, then all of a sudden that bobber will go down, and it'll go because northern hits from the side. And then when they feel the fish is dead, they let go of it and turn it around and swallow it head first.
Where do you hook them? You hook them right underneath the dorsal fin?
The smelt, I usually try to hook through the head.
Okay.
So when they go to swallow it head first with a circle hook, I usually catch the corner of the mouth, and I don't have to worry about them cutting my line as easy. Or I use a steel leader. But yeah, they're fun. They're wicked. The 5-6 pounders they can get pretty aerobatic on you. They'll come
Yep.
out of the water and jump, and the bigger ones are like a big dead log until they get up to the boat. I teach my grandkids, beware, have your pole up high because when they get to the boat, they're going to turn and run like hell. And you need to drop that pole and have your drag set it up, pop your line every time.
Oh, and the smart ones will go under your boat and snap your line and wrap your pole around the boat too.
Yeah, yeah. When they get to the boat, you got to be ready for that run. It's very seldom they don't do that.
Yeah. We always had a technique. We figure eighted them right by the boat. These big fish,
Yeah,
they'd run. You have the set, like you said, you have your pole up and away. Everyone else has their poles in the boat by that time, and the person operating the net would understand that certain part of the figure eight, because you're making sure they're worn out, they'll take off. You got
yeah,
your set right, and then the next time you bring them right in, and then they're so worn out they can't fight anymore.
yeah. You stick that net in the water when they still got a lot of poop, they're going to take off. You ain't going to get them in net very easy. If you got their head going in net and they do it, you're good to go. But a lot of times you just barely lift that net over the side of the boat or just put it in the water and they take off like crazy.
That's
They're,
right. That's exactly right. Because we always no one did anything without the command of the person who had the fishing reel and the rod, because they could feel and everything, and they could see because they're standing, usually standing, and they're the captain at that fish. So they would guide us, and nothing happened in that boat without that person or my father chiming in, kind of coach us along. But you're right. How many times did you lose a fish because of you didn't set the hook hard enough, or you had your pole in the wrong position? Easy.
yeah, yeah, especially with that bony mouth on a pike. Good morning, Mr. Rogers. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Hey, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I grew up on fishing for pike. We never had walleye until later years, and now the salmon are starting to move. So when I get back, I hope to take a trip up and maybe get into some salmon, but we'll see what happens.
I'll take any fish that comes on my hook.
Yeah, yeah,
I just love fishing. And even if I don't catch a fish out there, it's still the hunt. Uh, it's trying to figure out where everyone else is missing and find a place where no one else thought of, or find the underwater seabeds, the sunken sea with beds.
here it's the underground springs, and
Uh,
if you watch the shoreline, you see where these springs are running in, and they're always hot spots. But if you're motoring along in about 4 to 6 feet of water and watch the shoreline, you'll see northerns right up against the bank facing out.
really?
And when that crankbait comes by them, they shoot out and just nab it.
Huh.
You'd
See,
think be too warm, but that's where they hang out.
I'll be darned. See, that's new to me. It's maybe just due to the waters there. I don't know how to explain that. You know, Don, we always fish where the weeds were.
Yep.
We
Well,
fish right outside of them,
yep.
or if we weedless, we'd fish right to we'd find paths into the weeds
Hmm.
that the weedless lure wouldn't get stuck in. You know, you throw it in a lily pad, you're going to catch something.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll lay on the edge in those weeds, right on the edge, looking out. And
Yep.
when that unsuspected fish comes swimming along, they come out of there like a rocket.
They sure do.
And wait for the next one.
Yeah, they sure do. It's something else, man. I love hunting them. Bass were the ones we caught more of. Did a lot of river fishing for them. Good fighters, very aerial. We couldn't get big ones. Did you have big ones where you grew up, Don?
Yeah, we'd get some. We'd catch them anywhere from hammerhead size or hammer handle size to 20 pounds.
Wow. Oh my God! If I caught a 20-pound, I'd put a saddle on it and ride it around for a week.
My goal is to catch a 20-pounder on my fly rod.
Oh, would that be a fight?
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Oh, Don, that's something you could retire on right there. Just set the fly rod up and say, "Listen, this is it. I can't beat this." That's like getting a message from the president from a comment you made to him. It's like, okay, I'm done. Can't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's when I went out west one time, I stopped at some fly shops, and I didn't know they made it, but I found tip up that was made for steelhead, but it had the steel core in it, but still real flexible. I said, "Oh man, that's all I needed for northern." And the good thing about northerns is they're damn good tasting. The little hammerhead size, oh, they pickle up and are so good, and all the bones dissolve in them, and great fish to pickle.
Yeah, I love northern. That's what we used to do shore lunches in Canada with. We keep all the smaller fish. We never took hardly any.
The other thing I do with northerns, if they're big, is I'll flay out the tail section, and then I'll take the rib cage section and cut them into about 1.25 inch steaks, and then I'll season them and butter them and lime them and lemon them and put them in the oven and bake them, and the meat just comes right off the bones. I don't even worry about the
Yeah, well, they're so good. I mean, we used to do. I don't know what you did. Did you do like eggs? Dip them in egg and then put them in flour?
that's normally how we do a lot of our fish. Just egg bath and flour. Now I started using my mind. Oh, what's that called? Basically breadcrumbs, but they're breadcrumbs made without the crust.
Oh, okay.
I call them crumples, but they're
Crumples. Well, whatever works, right?
yeah. But it makes it a little bit crispier, and I like that. I like my outside of my fish crispy, but not chewy when I get done.
You like panko.
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 Mhm.
Panko.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think I've seen that.
Spelled different than PA. Can't remember how it's spelled. CKO, I
I
think.
just mix it in with the flour or whatever, and it just gives it that little bit more crispy on the outside.
That's fantastic. You know, I remember those shore lunches like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
We were starved.
Oh, there's nothing like cooking on the shore when you're fishing. I remember as a kid, I'd wade out in the water and I'd drop bobber because I only had a short line right
Right.
me with a worm, and I'd catch these little 6, 8 inch perch,
Right.
and I'd catch one. I'd go back shore. I'd scale it, stick it on a stick, cook it over the fire, put some salt on it, eat it, and go out and catch another one.
Isn't that awesome? Those are memories, aren't they? Jeez.
Yeah, they
Are-
always it's so good.
yeah. And you know, it's so wholesome. There's nothing bad about what you just did. It's just so, it's the way it should be. You should be learning that stuff for survival.
Yeah, yeah, Mister Rogers, that crunch goes a long ways. It's
Sure does.
does.
That taste. Oh my God. We just couldn't get enough of it. And we cook them in lard. Damn it. We're going to ruin your heart valves. We're going to cut it all down.
I'm at the age I don't. I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm going to cook it the way I like it.
Good for you. If I go, I go. That's my motto.
Yeah. Why live 10 years in misery when you could have 8 years of good eating and good fun and
Agree 100%. 100%. You know, it's all choices. It's all choices.
yeah. I think I got another 20 years in me yet though. So
I know. I got both of my parents are still alive. So I'll be 100 before I pass.
yeah.
Unless I do something like, go fishing over the top of Niagara Falls and I misjudged where the falls are or something like that. Then it could end earlier.
Yeah, if that happens, it happens,
Yeah.
I'm not that I'm not that I'm gonna go out and do something stupid, but shit happens in life, and I don't got any control over it, so I quit trying.
That's exactly the way you got to look at it. It's just survival mentally.
Yeah.
Go out there and do what's right. Be safe. Be thoughtful. Plan out.
Oh, it's so funny to watch these survival shows, and it's just like, are you guys stupid or what? you know, it's you got it and got it made. There's so many things that they're told how to do it and how to react, but I keep thinking, I'm glad I got the knowledge I have.
Yep.
Wish kids nowadays would have my experiences or listen to them at least.
I don't think they think the information you and I have is.
Yeah, they think that they can look it all up online, and they get a lot of bogus information that way too.
Of course, yeah.
But there's some things, when I grew up, just things we did. Nice view. Yeah, you got a boat down there.
Yeah, we got a boat. He's fishing. Been working the lake pretty hard.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I like fishing over top of an anchor is my favorite. I like throwing the anchor down.
This lake is so quiet. You could just sit there. You could sit there if there's no wind.
Yeah, especially in the river, that current and always something drifting by, and it's just so peaceful and relaxing. And
the difference, Don, I don't know if you agree with this, but the difference between fishing a lake is you're tired at the end of the day. When you're fishing a river, you're mentally and physically exhausted.
Yeah.
Because it's always with your motor on. Never a second you've got to always be looking around.
Yeah, you really have to pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah,
That's why on
I
the
love it.
river, I like
I
to
love
find
river fishing. Don't get me wrong, but
I like to either find a spot and throw the anchor down and get anchored good, or I like to troll crankbaits and go up current, and it's so much easier to go slow and
yep,
control your boat that way.
absolutely. People don't think about that either. They think about they're gonna glide down the river. You never go where you're supposed to go. You have to have your motor on.
Yeah,
It's got to be funny.
you'll go right up on shore somewhere.
Yeah, you will go up on shore and you'll miss the spot you wanted to really fish hard. So
Here it's a big sandbar out in the middle of the river. You know, the current's going to push you right up on that sandbar. If you're lucky, it'll push you back off again.
yeah,
I like traveling up the river because if I do get on a sandbar, the odds are the current will help me get back off.
yeah,
Going down the river, you run up on a sandbar, you're sometimes really in tough shape.
yeah. I'm in the middle of nowhere, guys. So yeah, but if you're fishing sandbars, that's great. Our rivers, we had the Illinois River, Mississippi River, and there's sandbars there, just not where we were that I knew of.
Yeah.
Islands, yes.
And you never learn the river because the sandbars change every time there's a change in flow, there's a change in the sandbars. So where you
100%.
went last week and buzzed right up the river, you may buzz right up on a sandbar. But we'll go from it'll average 8-10 feet on the river where it's hard bottom, and then it'll drop into a 30-foot hole, and there's quite a suction right there. And
Huh.
if you can
That's
get
pretty
angled
cool.
of it, a great place to get your lines just bouncing back until they drop in those holes. And,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can feel that too, can't you?
oh yeah, and that's where you'll catch the biggest variety of fish. And so I'm kind of between two large reservoirs. If I go south side of North Dakota, I'm in Lake Hawaii that runs into South Dakota. And if I go north, I'm in Lake Sakakawea, and that runs all the way up into Montana. So they're huge reservoirs.
And those are good fishing typically, unless they're too shallow, right?
Yeah, the reservoirs don't get too shallow until you get way up in the upper ends, but we'll run 150 feet down here at the dam, sometimes more, depending
Woo,
on the level.
that's a huge drop.
And the main channel through the lakes will run 100, 120 feet. On the upper ends, probably 80, 75, 80 feet. But
Wow.
if it isn't real clear and you're on one side, there's spots you can't see across to the other side.
Makes total sense.
So, there isn't,
John,
there are so
I am
many
going to step
fishing.
down because I'm going to step down because I'm at the top of the hill, and I've just gone 2.5 miles, so I'm going to chill out a little bit. Thank you very much for hosting.
Oh, well, thank you for coming up and keeping company.
My pleasure, bud. Cheers.
You have a great day, Johnny, and we'll
You
catch
too,
you
bud.
next. Bye.
Bye.
So, what we got to talk about now? I know one thing. I am a guard dog pro staffer. I did it for one reason only, and that is it's changed my whole life. At my age, I can't believe the number of extra fish I've been catching because I just not as fast as I used to be. And when I go to re-rig, it takes me a lot longer than most people to re-rig, and it seems like every time I'm looking down tying a knot, I get one of those bait stealers or a fish, and those are the ones I haven't been missing. Now with Patches, I take her along, and she keeps my attention a lot. But I just look at it; it's a win-win situation for me. I get to talk about it. I don't put much videos out on it, but I've been doing a lot of experimenting and trying this and trying that, and I'm just really surprised on how versatile it is for me. You know, going from the boat, going from shore. I took the cat claws rod holders one day because it was so rocky. The lake was low, and stuck it in the gap between the bed and the tailgate and put my guard dogs on so I didn't have to sit with my neck cranked up to watch them. In fact, one of them went off and it came down and hit me in the head. It was like, oh, I got a bite. But, you know, I put my poles out and I get such a sore neck from cranking my head side to side and up and watching my poles. And it was a learning curve. I was pretty intense about watching my poles. Now I find I starting to relax a little more and get more trust in the dogs to help me out. And works great when I have a fish on or I'm checking my line and I get a hit on the other line. It's because I don't always have my poles, you know, side by side. I usually spread them out. And then try to sit back far enough to watch both of them. And then when it starts getting dark, when I like to fish most, and it's hard to see the tips of the poles, rather than drag out lights, I just kind of rely on them to let me know when I get a hit. But the shiners, the carp, the drum, all those little peckers that pick your bait off, and I've been catching more of those than usual. So that's why I do it. I do it for my own uses. I hope that someday somebody else will see it the same way. Good morning, Ernie Brown. The link should be at the top of the chat if anybody wants to come up and hold down the fort with me. I gotta head up north and go get my boat today and bring it back and put it away before I head out in the morning. And you're welcome, Johnny. And we'll see what happens from there. It's supposed to get super hot today. Well, good for you, Ernie. Uh, if it does, I might just put the boat in for a while, and I might go up to the big lake and put it in and just drive around and watch the crazies. And then my other favorite thing is to go to the boat launch and this evening and watch all the crazies come in that haven't driven their boats maybe once or twice a year and try to load it in the current. That's always good for a laugh or two, especially if they had too much spirits while they're out. I wish I lived closer to you, Ernie. I'd I'd enjoy your company. You and Chrissy. I'd stop in for coffee every once in a while. There she is.
Yep. Hey, I was just gonna say I'm getting Patch's stuff all together, and but I want to tell everybody goodbye, and I need to. My mother needs me, so I'm gonna run to her house for a little bit and check her out before we go away.
Well, you want to hold the fort down for me for a while?
Sure. We always have to take our dog. Oh, Patchy, I'm sorry. Gotta take our dog to the babysitter. Dawn's gonna run her up. My sister, or my daughter, babysits for her. She always enjoys having her. Thinks she's fun, and she takes her out to uh, where she works at, and she gets to go to work with her. She thinks that's really fun. And she starts to remember some of the people that come into the. It's a gravel pit, believe it or not, and she is oh, what do you call it? She was the she measures or weighs out all the stuff. She's the. I cannot think what it is right now, but anyway, so a lot of truck drivers come in and they like Patches, but I think because she's a little wild child. So my mother's 92, so I try to spend when I'm going to be gone for a period of time. I go up to see her, but she's been having a some issues lately. She's getting older, and so I told her I'd come up and check some things out for her before we go, and then my other sisters will take over. But anyway, hello, downtown Brown. How are you, Ernie? I just and everybody that's in here, everybody's been so good this morning. It's been fun. I had a good time, but we do miss. Don stepped away. He'll be back in just a minute. He has been. Things are going backwards a little bit, so they are a little concerned. So we have this. We are going to go back down there. He had that scheduled before, so they'll see what's happening, and then when we get back, there's another doctor that wants him to come in and see what's going on with his weight loss and everything. But he keeps going. He's enjoying his new boat. He likes it because he can load it by himself. One of the reasons my brother-in-law went up and they went out with him a few times to make sure he was going to be okay on it by himself and that he'd be able to load it, and he did do it. I lots of times drop him off and then I come back down and pick him up, but he hasn't let me help or said he needs it. He does it by himself, so that's good. Yeah, and Patches loves to go along with him. He's good company out there. He's barking at me. Can you hear? Yes, you're being a silly girl, huh? But
Come out with me, I'll give you a treat.
anyway, so Don's going to go pick up his boat down in Pick City and bring it back here, and then we'll put it in the storage unit and let Patches go and have an overnighter. So when he goes down there, he's close to the water too, and they take him out on the pontoon sometimes. So yeah, he's like a kid, That's a great place to go. But everybody have a blessed week, and we'll see you all when we get back. And we'll be back hopefully just in a couple days. So
Ernie, I hope someday I can get down in that neck of the woods. I just have found so many good people on this YouTube. It's been like a lifesaver to me, especially in the winter when they're just nothing going on up here except cold weather. And now this year they're expecting to be a lot colder and harsher than previous years. And last year I thought we had a bad long winter, so I don't know what to expect. But I need to go somewhere a little bit warmer. And warm my bones. I get cold so easy anymore that it's really hampered my night fishing. That sun goes down and that temperature drops about 15, 20 degrees. And I think I'm going to stay out real late. And by 11 o'clock, I'm getting too cold. So even in the summer, I carry my little buddy heater to put by my chairs to keep warm. And I got a little, they call it a spectator's tent. It's made for people who go out and watch their kids play sports and weather's not nice. So it's plastic on three sides and there's room for two chairs in there, but I like putting my anti-gravity chair or whatever in there and turning it sideways and I can kick back and it blocks the wind, and I put my little buddy heater in there and that keeps me warm and so I'm getting more use out of that every year. Well, y'all, it's been an hour and a half, and I need to make that trip up north, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I get up there, whether I'm going to put the boat out or not. By the time I drive up there, I might be tired, and I still have to drive back and put it in the storage unit, but that way, if a storm comes through, I don't have to worry about it. But so far, the boat's been working out good for me. It's wide enough that I was in some pretty good swells and boat wakes, and it stayed dry, so that's the best part of it all. You and Chrissy take care too, Ernie, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. You can spread the word. I'll be around now. I just last couple of weeks I was so sick I tried to put a thing out saying I wouldn't be up, and I just didn't have my mind was like mush. So y'all take care. Love y'all. Thank you for coming in and joining me, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.